So in Valorant, there's 4 big movement tips that can really elevate your movement to the next level. So the first thing is momentum, or swing momentum. So it's basically how fast someone swings, or how fast someone looks on the enemy screen when they swing. And so the first mistake a lot of people do, or a lot of the lower elo do, is they slow peek, which is obviously really bad because in the enemy's POV they're gonna see you a lot faster, and they're not gonna really have a hard time shooting your head or one-tapping you. And another one is a lot of people like do some unconfident swing, or like they stutter swing. So when you stutter swing, or when you like hesitate, the enemy will see your shoulder first, and then you're gonna swing out and probably insta get one tapped. So you know there's a lot of reasons why you can get insta one tapped when you're swinging, and that's mostly because you just don't have the swing momentum or just the speed to be a hard target. So normally when you're swinging, you just need to have full confidence and just use your momentum. So yeah, the ideal way to swing is just be a reasonable distance to the wall and just momentum swing. Just have as much momentum and speed, and hold down one key. I'm sure everyone tells you to just hold down one key, but the reason they want you to do that is so you have max momentum, because obviously if you're holding W and A, you're gonna be a lot slower and it's gonna be a lot more awkward for you. So yeah, if you want to swing, it just has to be it has to be confident and full of momentum, or just a fast swing. Now the second thing is elevation, and a lot of people don't abuse the fact that depending on the distance to the wall and like further to the wall, there is a elevation difference. So yeah, let's just say I'm back here and I want to take a fight on an enemy who's like out on site. So what you can do is you can first get info. I got info on him. He's seen me also, so he's seen me on the jiggle, or he's seen where my head is, so he's pre-aiming this right here. So instead of just swinging and taking the fight, you can actually go like forward or further up and then swing, because what happens is the position of your head actually changes. So depending on how close you are to the wall, your head will be a higher height than if you're like further away. So it's definitely going to throw off the enemy if you use elevation to your advantage. Same thing with further back. You know, you're jiggling, you see an enemy right here, you can go further back and just clear him out slowly. In my opinion, I'd say further back is better to clear, and it's better to wide swing from closer up because you have the most speed and momentum. So yeah, again, enemy here, see him, I go forward and then I hit him with a wide swing, and 9 out of 10 times I will win the fight there. You know, just little stuff like that. Like elevation is OP. A lot of people don't abuse the fact that a lot of people just don't abuse elevation. Like for example, even here, I see an enemy, he's looking at me, I go forward and then I swing, and in his POV he's most likely holding here, but then my head will be much higher than he anticipated, which will give you a lot more time to kill him. The number 3 would be just variation. What do I mean by variation? It's just how you change swings and just become unpredictable for the enemy. So for example, same area, I jiggle, I see an enemy, and then variation, you just swing and you crouch so he gets thrown off. It's kind of like same concept like elevation, but you're just changing the way you swing, or like you're adding something new to your swing. For example, a crouch, or you could also do elevation and variation and change your swing and crouch, stuff like that. For example, there's an enemy here, you take the fight, you kill him, and then his teammate goes to trade, you go forward up and then you change your swing and you wide swing him. You know, stuff like that really changes the percentage of gunfights you win, and just makes it way harder for the enemy to trade, or way harder for enemies to fight you in general. So the fourth one is distance. Now what do I mean by that? I mean it's the distance where the enemy is to you, and depending on the distance is how you should move. So for example, if an enemy is close by to you, for example maybe holding this angle, or just somewhere that's like close by to you, you typically want to go wider because in the enemy POV you'll be moving a lot faster than they anticipate. But it honestly works in any scenario. Maybe they're holding something weird like this. So if you just go wide, or wider than they expect, then they'll be completely thrown off just because of on their screen how fast you look, and just the momentum is crazy. Same thing applies with strafing. If the enemy is close to you, for example he peeked out and you guys are fighting. Most people they strafe normally. They just shoot, strafe, shoot, strafe. But what you can do to become an even harder target is when they're close to you, you start strafing wider. You start strafing wider than normal. And same thing applies. If they're further away and you're taking a fight, you can strafe a lot faster, because that makes you the hardest target in that scenario when they're further away from you. But when they're close to you, going wide or just wide strafes are what make you the hardest to hit. So another thing about movement that is pretty big, I would say, is you can use it as a really good adjustment tool. So what do I mean by that? For example, someone could be sneaking up here and swing me, and I might not expect him. I might be holding this angle or this angle. I might not expect him. I might just not generally expect him there. Like I could be walking up R and he might be right here. I don't expect him there. So what you can do, a lot of players, what they would do is they would go and try to readjust to their head. Like they might be looking here, right, and there's a guy right here. A lot of people will try to readjust to their head and try to shoot them, right? With movement, you can actually avoid their bullets and make readjustment way easier. So I could be doing this. I see him, and then I move first. So this guy right here, he might panic spray, or he might whiff on me a little bit. It just gives you a lot more time to react and readjust. Same thing here. If I don't expect someone right here, I'm like walking out, I see him, and then I move first. Instead of shooting first, I move first to readjust my aim, and then I shoot. So it catches them off guard as well, because they're gonna have a lot harder time shooting a moving target than someone who's standing still and trying to readjust to them. So right here you can see I'm using all my momentum. I'm swinging with confidence, having good crosshair placement as well, but mostly just doing fast, confident swings. And you can see some of the things that I talked about earlier that I'm applying. Like the Omen, I went wide to change things up, and then the Jet, I hit him with a crouch because he was holding head level. Just small things like that make the biggest difference. Same thing here, I'm just constantly moving and looking for fights. And you can see on the last kill that I applied the elevation change, and I also changed how I swung. Once the Sage saw me on the jiggle once, I caught him off guard by changing my swing and elevation. So now I'm gonna show you guys a full deathmatch that I played earlier, and maybe you guys can catch on to some of the things mentioned, and you guys can see how I move and aim, and maybe you'll be able to pick up on some stuff and replicate it.
Their lives are so meaningless. Might as well give them to me. Fight! We win, we survive. 3 souls. 4 dead.
Dominating. Kills remaining.
Four dead.
Kills remaining.
Adios. Three souls.
Kill remaining.